Hey, how's it going, YouTubers? Welcome back to my channel, Paranormal Biker. So today's conversational topic is, once again, this beautiful 2019 Tri-Glide Ultra. So if y'all guys have seen my other review on this Harley Davison, you're probably wondering why am I doing another review on it? Well, because I got some of my information wrong, and I would like to correct myself with a updated review. Plus, I was able to put about 550 miles on this motorcycle, so I have a more in-depth understanding of what it is and the power, and I'd like to bring this information to you guys. So guys, before I get into everything on this bike, I would like to say that as far as the 2019 Harley Davison Tri-Glide Ultras, did receive the updated Boombox GTS, which is it's full color, and it has a 25 channel system with 4 speakers and a 5.25 inch touchscreen that you could see right there in front of you. Alright, so I'm just gonna go over a few quick things on this. I'd like for y'all guys to see this home screen setting. Of course, right up front is your onboard GPS mapping system, and it's very intuitive, especially for people who are coming out of Garmin's and Magellan's, and I mean even the mapping system right off of your phone. And then just right underneath it, this is going to be all the audio controls. And you could also set your audio routing, your fade and your volumes, your trebles and your bass. And then within this setting, you could also set the pre-volume loudness to how fast you are traveling down the road. Come right over here. This is your immediate information. In the center, you could see that it's going to display miles per hour to the left, to the right. Is also going to give you time en route, your times, and your mileage end times, start to destination. And then how you control, you could either control right off of the screen here, or on your right side on the handlebars for the control cluster, you do have a toggle that has a arrow that would be on it that you can also scroll through the infotainment system, this boombox. Okay, so obviously it says check oil because I don't have the engine running. And over on the right is going to display distance since service, which would be 766.62. And I do have the EITMS enabled. When I first got this trike, it was disabled, so I went ahead and enabled it. I haven't heard it kick on yet. Alright, here's the trip summary. So my average speed, which would be 55, and then average MPG, miles per gallon, is 34 and 10. Fuel used, obviously it's saying 10 point, almost 11 gallons, and a total of 12 stops. And I probably need to reset the information because I know I've made more than 12 stops. Alright, so it says traveled in miles 366, and obviously it's calculated 2 hours 17 minutes and 33 seconds. Gets it all the way down to the seconds. And then over here on the left, guys, for the start, obviously gives you in-depth information on when the trip began and obviously when it ended. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way back over to the beginning here. Something that intrigued me, which you see down on the left, right above the time, is a mountain. And to the right of that, it says 481 in feet, which would be your elevation relevant to sea level. And then to the right would be 51.8 degrees. And obviously they have that in Fahrenheit. For all y'all Celsius lovers, you can switch that over to the sea. And then down below it displays your Bluetooth signal, and obviously this fairing is pointed to the east, And then it also gives you a relevant cell phone signal. This thing is chock full of information. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so if you hit this back arrow, it'll just take you all the way to where you pretty much started. I'll go back to home and let's get into some jams. All right, and there is a way that we can start some music. Let's see if I can get some music started. And I'm thinking it's going to automatically pick up. I started it on my cell phone because I have it connected, and it does. And I do not have my cell phone hard connected into the bike, so I do like that you don't have to have your cell phone connected, but besides through Bluetooth to play your music. And then on the left side, control cluster on your handlebars, down below you will have, right next to the cruise control button, a toggle switch with a home screen. And clicking it to the right obviously thumbs through your music directory, and then vertically pushing it up or down increases the volume or decreases the volume when you go down. And the speakers are not bad for 4 speakers.
People come up. Yeah.
And then right over here to the right, I could just mute it out. And guys, where you see my cell phone charger at is obviously a USB connection that will also hardline your phone into the boom box. That USB connection will also support an SD card. So for you people that don't like your phones hard connected into the bike, you can just download music onto an SD card, and it is compatible with this boom box. Okay, so the power plant on this bike is a Milwaukee 8 V-twin air-cooled 114. And that 114 is bolted up to a 6-speed transmission. And just to let y'all guys know that I was wrong on my last video on the color. This is not a dark cherry. Harley Davison has this listed as a twisted cherry. And the introductory price to the twisted cherry color line is $36,099 is what it's going to take to be able to sit and take this trike home. And Harley Davison outdid themselves with the longest abbreviated name, and it goes FLHTCUTG, and that is one heck of a mouthful. Okay, moving on. The exhaust is a 2 into a 1, back into a 2. This bad boy has a wheelbase of 65.7 inches, and just to let y'all know, these trikes come standard with ABS. Torque is 121 foot-pounds at 3250. That is 3,250 RPMs, and with a whopping 96 horsepower. And then y'all guys are wanting to know what the ship weight is. These things are delivered to the dealership from the manufacturer as shipped, 1,203 pounds. And then of course wet after the receiving gets the oil and puts a little bit of fuel in it is 1,243 pounds. So Harley Davison is claiming that this bike is getting 42 miles to the gallon. Now, what I have seen is it's receiving, it's putting out 34 miles per gallon at 70 miles an hour, at 3,000 RPM. So Harley is saying 42, and what I am seeing is 34. But this motorcycle is also still in the break-in stage, but I am real close to what the manufacturer break-in says, because we are almost at 800 miles. All right, so just to let y'all know a little bit about the front end of this. As far as the rim, the tire goes, these things do come equipped with a 7-spoke cast aluminum, and the rear is the same thing. The brakes on the front is a 32 millimeter 4-piston. And then on the rear, as far as the floating 36 millimeter piston integrated parking brake goes, this thing does have some nice stopping power. As far as the storage, this has about the same amount of storage as your typical bagger does. I have a Street Glide that I put a trunk on, and my trunk is the same size as this trunk. You can fit 2 helmets sideways, or you could put a bag in or a few bags in on the top side. Underneath side, in my personal opinion, and I haven't put a tape measure on it, but the rear under compartment, which I'm about to show y'all, is equivalent to 2 saddlebags. And let me bring y'all around so y'all can see. All right. Let's give y'all a close-up. There's plenty of room, and the storage does have plenty of vertical height to it. You can see I have a pretty large dicky jacket and a set of North Face gloves in there. Still plenty of room. You know, just to talk about the pros real quick. If any of you guys do a lot of traveling, this would be absolutely the perfect load down bike for traveling and pulling a trailer if you don't mind not hauling ass. The cons are, even though it's perfect for long hauls, I don't like the miles per gallon, the fuel capacity, and what you're getting on a full tank. Even though, guys, I still am break-in period on this bike, I should start seeing an increase in my miles per gallon, which I'm not. This trike, the way it sits right now, not loaded, with just a single rider, not the passenger, locally, which is mostly where I live, all highway, at 70 miles an hour, I'm only getting between 189 and 194. So those aren't very good numbers for taking trips if you like going fast. The numbers exponentially increase if you could keep your speed limit about 60 to 65. But in my opinion, that takes forever to get somewhere doing 60 or 65. So if any of y'all guys could get past that and don't mind going under the speed limits, then this is a perfect riding machine. For those of you that do mind it, like me, well, we're going to start focusing on what we could do here and letting the motor breathe and get some better exhaust on it to loosen up some of the MPG with maybe a tune. So guys, I'd like to talk about the front end just a little bit. I know that I did a explanation on the way that Harley Davison did the lights on this Ultra. This would be the first motorcycle in my garage that has these, I'm calling them passing lamps. They've been called fog lights, they've been called highway blinders, but I see them as passing lamps. I keep these things on all the time because I like the visual. Coming down the highway, it's another application to allow other drivers to see you on the road, and they are pretty bright. So I keep these on all the time. And of course, this LED day maker that Harley Davison put on this Tri-Glide is also nice and bright. They're all white. It's not like these are white or these are yellow. When you do put the day maker on bright, the passing lamps turn off. And then of course you have your blinkers down here. The blinkers, guys, they stay on. So, which I like that too, because it's another visual. I'm all about visual. And then of course, we can't forget about the front running light on the fender. So guys, with that being said, I'm trying to give you the best honest review that I possibly can. You know, like I said earlier, this is coming from an individual that's never owned or ever thought about even sitting on a trike. So yeah, so please guys, thank you so much for the views, and please don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification icon. Be a part of the cause, be a part of the biker revolution. And please become part of the paranormal biker community, part of this family. Until next time, I appreciate it and take care, y'all.